The first Battlefield 6 playtest has been running for nearly a week now, and we have all seen hours and hours of countless footage and leaks on the internet. But the one thing that impressed me the most about the Battlefield 6 playtest wasn't just the leaks, which were of course impressive in their own rights, it was the way DICE communicates with its fans, the way they communicate with the people who are testing Battlefield Labs has been impressive. I have never ever, as somebody who has tested Battlefield 3 Alpha, Battlefield 4 Alpha, BF1 and BF5 Alpha, combined with Battlefield 2042's first playtest, have never seen them acting the way they are now. I think some fire was reignited in DICE. Perhaps the failures of Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042 in the sales department of the franchise have prompted them here to really kick in gear, and I think Battlefield 6 first playtest has been the product of that fire. The name is Ace, welcome back to another Battlefield video. What I mean by this is how fast they seem to respond to criticism, how fast they're responding to concerns of the people who have seen the leaks or have played the Battlefield 6 playtest. Here's a very good example. Somebody has a problem with the game's Recoil. He says, hey, what's up? I've seen the leaks of the new game, I gotta say it's impressive, but the one thing that put me off is the recoil. It looks like it's from Battlefield 2042. Nearly immediately, Tigger responded, oh, it's changed a lot since that last one. Also, it's pre-alpha, so some weapons are ahead than others. Remember, this is a multi-billionaire dollar company who has sold over like 100 million game copies over the past 15 years, are responding to just one viewer who has a problem, a harsh problem of one of the main game's system, and he gets a response from like one of the lead developers nearly instantaneously. I mean, tell me one developer company that does this today. Now, David Sirlin is a very open person who has said many times that he doesn't like to chase only yes men for feedback, that he accepts all types of feedback, good or bad, and then analyzes it. But the real magic, in my opinion, goes behind the closed doors in this Battlefield Labs Discord that all the 600 testers that have been invited for the Battlefield playtest are in. There, they have a concern or they have a suggestion, they have a question, they have something random even. They tag any of the developers. It doesn't have to be David Sirlin. It's Drunks, it's the current vehicle designer, it's the people who make the music. Like, the entire team is there. I'm talking everybody from DICE who is involved in Battlefield Labs is in that Discord. And as soon as they're pinged, I'm talking, it's no exaggeration that they instantaneously respond to the question. I'm gonna reveal some of them. I'm not in the Discord, but a lot of people are sending me pictures and screenshots, and you know, I'm not bound by anything, so I can just describe to you what's happening there, so you have an idea how active they are. Somebody yesterday had a question, is the Battlefield's main team picked yet? Who will do the main team, like the composer? Is he picked yet? Immediate response, he hasn't been picked yet, and then they provide a question, do you have any suggestions? And of course, people immediately suggested Johan Skuge, I'm sorry if I butchered that pronunciation, of Battlefield 3 and BF4. And they replied immediately, oh, very good choice of Winky Face. I mean, guys, this is crazy. These are developers of a video game who are responding to like nearly every question on a fucking Discord, right? And I'm very shocked by that because I've never, in modern gaming, I've never experienced something like this. You know how everything is secret and hidden and incognito in modern gaming is? These guys are super open. Guys, this is EA and DICE we're talking about, by the way. They're so open that it really gives me a lot of hope for the next Battlefield game, I have to be honest. And trust me, after Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042, that hope was small, like minuscule. But to seeing how open they are, how willing they are to communicate with people and reach out and interact and just be these super approachable people, you know, just a bunch of guys who just drink beer and chill out and talk about Battlefield, is it's really crazy. And perhaps finally, our passion for Battlefield is being reflected in DICE and EA themselves. Finally, after 2 failed games, it took 2 failed games for them to find that passion again, but it seems that it's finally here. And remember, this is just a playtest that's super early and nothing's finished. They actually confirmed a lot of things are not finished. They said, yep, the recoil is not finished. The UI is a complete placeholder. I mean, the UI, guys, is just a Battlefield 2042 UI with a few things changed. They said it is not the final UI and the game is going to have its own custom UI that's going to be built just for that game. Like the other games had its own UI. Battlefield 3 had its own UI, BF4, BF1, and Battlefield 6 is not going to be any different. They're not just going to copy and paste Battlefield 4's UI, Battlefield 2042's UI, which was universally disliked by everybody. I don't know anybody who likes Battlefield 2042 UI. They're not going to copy it. Some people had questions about the comma rows, you know, the Q thingy you press, the Q system. It's not coming back. People asked, and they disliked the plus system from Battlefield 2042. Asked by Drunks, is it coming back? They tagged him. He said, no, it's not coming back. We believe it ruins player progression and customization. Okay, so it's not coming back. But to get those questions out immediately and to calm down the people, I think is a very good strategy. I mean, they're acting here like some type of a great statesman, just calming everybody down and just suiting everybody into, a smooth experience. My God, when there was concerns about Battlefield 4's release, when, we had problems with, the servers crashing, when we blew up the building on Shanghai, it was absolute dead fucking silence. Nobody said anything. They were like, yeah, just deal with it, bro, And here it's different. I really enjoy this this approach they're doing here. And it's especially welcome considering how FPS genre is treating its players today. Just a bunch of skin pumped up, no communication, no response, no nothing, you have a question, yeah, just contact support, bro. No, here we just contact them directly, apparently. We just tag them on Twitter. Many of these developers are not very hard to reach, so if you have a question, just do your research and you can reach them and you can ask a question. So, if you are gonna be lucky enough to be invited to the Battlefield Labs and you're gonna get an invitation to this Discord, just leave them very good feedback, leave your concerns, they're gonna answer them. And then, you can also tell your boy Ace what they said. I love that we have this communication now as a community, like a direct line to the developers where a lot of the things can be addressed. Now, of course, it's also a kind of double-edged sword because some people really are emotionally connected to Battlefield, in my opinion, and are gonna give, feedback that isn't really gonna improve Battlefield 6 in any meaningful way. People are just gonna say, oh, the hell is OP, oh, the shotguns are OP, but are not really gonna provide any, a possible solution, or what they will do is just gonna be, a complaint with no feedback attached to it. I would suggest if you get into the labs, don't do that. Just play the thing if you get to play it, and then provide your opinion, and you will get a response from them, and then you can go deeper into the response, into the fixes, and so on. It's kind of funny that we are now, as a community, it feels like we are building the next Battlefield game rather than us fixing a failed launch, as we have been doing since a long time. I mean, Battlefield 4 was a failed launch. We fixed that with ICLA. BF5, honestly, BF5 actually was a surprisingly solid launch. The game was generally disliked by everybody, but it was a solid launch. The game didn't have problems. It was just a game that was of lesser quality than some of the other older Battlefield games. Battlefield 2042 was a disaster at launch. Hardline worked at launch, but people didn't like the game. All feedback completely ignored, and it seems those times are coming to an end. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope that you also share the same passion I do for this game, and apparently DICE as well does now. We see the next test, we see when more of us are invited, we see when more of it is revealed. Thank you so much for watching, leave a like and a sub, comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.